So you're going to start seated this morning, and I'm going to face you. You could face whatever direction you want, but we're going to start with kind of like an ankle to knee, but it's called Sukhasana. So you're going to lift your seat up and cross your ankles, cross your shins in front of one another, and create a box with your legs. Okay. You want to make sure you're seated right. So that's why lifting up and then lowering back down sometimes sets you right. Now, flex your feet really, really strong. You want to create external rotation. Stretch your arms straight up out of your side body, create some space for yourself, and then start to slowly hinge out. Now, as you hinge out, I want you to move in slow-mo because I want you to keep the length of the spine for as long as you can. And I want you to continue to flex your feet. So you're really getting this nice, aggressive, but not, too intense stretch through the hips. And then once you come down, the palms rest down. It's always good to have blocks. Mine, of course, are not near me. And you can always rest your hands on those blocks if you need to. Okay. Let your head go if you can. Or if your neck or your shoulder or something bothers you, you could use the block and rest your forehead on the block. So I'm showing another option. So take some pressure off here. And then just close your eyes and breathe. Yep. And feel your hips begin to ground. Feel your outer thighs and inner thighs begin to stretch. And make a strong connection with your breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose to the back of your throat. Couple more. Good. To get out of the pose, I want you to come out the same way you went in. So in slow motion, you kind of have to ignite the core. Start to lift from the ground with your arms out in front. Lift, 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 side body extension. Come all the way up to a seated position. Arms extend up, hands shoulder width distance. Drag the hands to prayer heart. Drop your arms, and let's switch the cross of the legs. So you're just going to switch the cross of the legs. And what I immediately do is I tent my fingertips, I lift my seat so I can create this strong box, strong flex, and then I lower back down. Okay, flex the feet, inhale the breath, stretch the arms up. So you want to create extension from your seat through your side body, through your arms. Create that space, don't be in such a rush, and start to hinge, 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 really, really slow. And you get to about this position where I'm at, and I want to flop, but I'm just going to have control. Keep flexion of the feet, and then find your position down. Palms can go flat, they can rest. I showed it with the block in its high position underneath the forehead. This is great if your neck feels stiff. You want to find a lot of extension. So your seat, in a sense, is moving back. And your arms are extending forward, and you're getting this really nice stretch through your inner and outer hips. And you're making a connection to your breath wherever you are with that. Couple more. It's okay to let your mind start to drift a little, right? That's just the nature of the meditation. It happens. Good. To come out, same thing. So as you start to lift, you want to lift slow, 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 slow. Turn your palms to face one another at that halfway mark. So you come into the right rotation, lifting, 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 lifting. Come all the way up to that upright position and see if you can create a little bit more extension. So your seat's plugged down, your side body and arms extend up, your neck is neutral. Hands draw to prayer at heart, drop your arms down. Take your legs, uncross them. You're going to take your feet flat to the floor, tent the fingertips by your side body, and bring your legs up to a little supported boat pose, okay? A little supported boat. I'll turn to the side so you have a better view of what is happening, okay? Draw the navel into the back of the spine, kind of spark up your toes. You're going to grab your block. The block's going to go straight out in front of you. You're going to pause here and just hold. For some reason, something's going on in your body. This feels crummy this morning. You don't want to work that hard. Second alternative would just be to plant your feet down and take this really passive, but engage the abdominal wall, okay? So either of these options work great this morning. And we're just gonna take small rotations, right? Come back through center and left, but you wanna try and keep your arms out in front. So it's a small rotation to the right. You're not going into your lower back, you're using your obliques. Come back through center because that resets the spine, and then you're gonna go over to the left. It's almost like you're handing the block out to someone in front on a table. So go right and just kind of move on your own. Come back through center and move left. Good. Come back through center. Once again, I'll show the modification. You can just have your leg bent to the right. Good. Legs will be engaged to the center, over to the left, and then keep going. So just going to go on your breath, on your movement. The slower you move, the more you're going to feel. Not always a good thing, but that's the goal. So keep going. Couple more times. Draw the pit of the belly in. So just small movements. Good. So let's do one more cycle. Right, come back through center, go left, come back through center, lower the block down, slide the hands out. Good. Cross your ankles, plant your hands, and let's slide into a little tabletop position. Okay. My blocks, tabletop position. Stack yourself up, sink the spine down and look forward, stick your butt out a little. Exhale, round and look in. Good. Again, inhale, sinking the spine down, looking forward. Exhale, rounding and looking in. Good. One more. Inhale, sinking the spine down and looking forward. Exhale, rounding and looking in. Good. Come to flat back tabletop position. Walk your hands out a little more in front. Lift your knees up and start to lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. Yeah, take up a lot of space on your mat this morning. And I always remind you, bending behind your knees is super helpful for a lot of us if you feel like the backside of your body is just tight. Yeah. Your hands are roughly shoulder width distance. I like mine a little bit wider. Index fingers always face forward. Creases of the wrists are forward. Maybe you're pedaling out your legs a couple times. Good. And then find some stillness if it's possible. Sometimes your mind is like so frenetic, so crazy that it's hard to really be fully still. Okay, so you just try your best, even if it's just a few breaths here and there. Just find some stillness, however that's going to arrive. Plug down, feel your outer triceps grip in, feel the shoulders move away from your ears. Draw the pit of the belly in and up. And feel that backside of the body lengthen. Think about the center of your heel and melting it closer towards the ground. Lead with your chest, roll forward to a plank. Yep, plank position. So when you come forward from that first dog to plank, sometimes it's a little off and you actually need to walk it out, but you want to feel a lot of extension. Yeah. Fire it up, find a straight line of energy. And if you get here and you're like, all right, this isn't for me this morning, drop your knees and give yourself some support. Sometimes the entire practice is benefited from support. Be okay with that. Lead a little bit more with your chest. There's movement of your shoulders away from your body. So you're getting this rotation outward. Perfect. Plug down. And pause in the plank for another breath or two. Good. Hips up and back, down dog. I think we found our spot, so that is good. Roll forward in one motion to a plank position. Good. Drop your knees down. They're going to be on a little baby angle. Lower halfway if it's available in your body this morning to a supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. Lift the knees so you're in a solid plank position. Activate. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Come forward and hug your right knee in and up. Land the right foot forward and through, and if it's not so seamless getting the foot there, you're welcome to use the hands, just kind of scooch it forward. Be on your fingertips and feel the extension of that back left leg, and then spring your left foot forward, hips width distance. Long spine on your inhale. Hands can also, of course, rest on your shins. Exhale, fold into yourself, let your head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag the hands to prayer. Drop your arms. So we're going to move in kind of these broken down sun salutes. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Right foot takes a generous step back. Plant the palms. Listen carefully. You're going to breathe your left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. So it's going to look like this. Yep. Come forward and hug your left knee in and up. Step the left foot forward and through. Spring the right foot forward to meet. Long spine weight is forward. Fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Take a generous step back with your left leg. Plant your palms and sweep your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Come forward and hug your right knee in and up. Scoop up the belly, arms are straight. Step the right foot forward. Spring the left foot to meet. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. One more broken down, arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step your right foot back, big step. Plant the palms, sweep your left leg back and through, three-legged down dog. Come forward and hug your left knee in and up. Step the left foot forward. Right foot springs to meet the top at the top. Long spine inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine to prepare. This time you can step, or you can float through a vinyasa of choice. Halfway to a push-up, up dog or baby cobra. Pick your poison here. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to go. Step, or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine weight is forward. Fold into yourself. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Go big. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step, or you can float through vinyasa. So a lot of us just steps to be deliberate in your movement. Modify the push-ups if you need. Add or subtract the up dog or back bend. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine weight is forward. Fold into yourself. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Arms go straight up. Keep moving. Dive in half over bent knees. Forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step, float, crawl back. Take it all out and just meet me in a down dog. Have no expectations. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog like we did before. And just pause in space. Just let that right leg stay lifted, stay elevated. Hug your outer hips in. Feel your side arms, the sides of your triceps grip in to keep you kind of even and grounded. Point your right toes. Drag your right knee in towards your forehead and round. Come forward into a plank. Like a ball. Yeah, like you want to round yourself into a ball. Take it a little closer. Step the right foot all the way forward and through. Be in a low lunge. Yeah, just be here for a breath. Feel the weight in that right heel. Feel the length of that back left leg. And let's rise on the breath. High lunge, crescent lunge. So you have to kind of iron this out. You want your hip points forward. The goal is to have the back leg strong and straight, but sometimes we need to soften the knee to get the hip points forward. So be mindful of that. Feel the weight in that standing right thigh and then energetically reach up, and then soften your gaze, find a drishti point, and just pause in this awesome basic asana here and breathe. So you're going to drop your arms anywhere you want your arms this morning. Tip forward with your torso and press off to a warrior 3. If your balance is a little rough this morning, blocks are really helpful to have them at the front of the mat. The trick is to bend that standing right leg as much as you can so you can really find that balance. Everything is neutral towards the ground. Your chest is lifting a little higher than the rest of your body. Warrior 3, balancing pose. Breathe. Grip the right hip in, activate that left leg a little bit more. And then you're going to find your way back, warrior 1. So turn that back foot and guide that foot back. Rise up, warrior 1. You do your best. Spin the left ribs forward, heavy in the standing right thigh. Feel the ground. Hands to frame your front foot. Come to a plank. Halfway to a push-up, up dog or cobra. Hips up and back, down dog. Breathe your left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog, and just keep it in space for a moment. Point the left toes and then come forward and round in like a little ball. Left knee towards forehead, towards chest. Arms are straight up and down. So tuck it in really, really close. Yeah, keep looking forward. Step that left foot forward and through. Be in a low lunge for a beat here. On the fingertips, hug the left hip in, activate that back leg, and then rise on your breath. Take your time. Come up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Iron out your stance. Hip points move forward. Heavy in the standing front thigh. Activation of that back leg. Energetic with your arms. Neck is nice and neutral. And then fix your eyes. Just breathe, connect. Connect to the feeling of just being in a basic posture. Keep the lower half of the body with a strong structure. Drop your arms down anywhere you want your arms. They can be straight back. They can be on your hips in prayer. Pivot forward with your torso enough that you can launch off. Warrior 3. Use blocks if you need. Square off your hips. Bend into that standing left leg as much as you need so you can find your balance. Grip the hip in. So there's no opening up of the hips. Everything is neutral to the ground here. Your eyes are fixed. You're just breathing into the pose. So focus on that standing left leg. You got to bend it enough and then turn the back foot open and land back, warrior 1. First warrior, take your time. Outer blade of your back foot secures the mat. Right rib spin forward. Sit a little heavier into your front left thigh. Yeah. Another big breath in. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. The up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog is where we meet. Good work. Look where you want to go. Step, float, get there light, top of mat. Long spine weight is forward. Fold into yourself. Heavy in your heels for your first chair. Yeah, and decide, like, do you want your feet together? Do you want them a little separated? So it's different for everybody. And then the goal is to really sit nice and deep and low. Weight moves to your heels. So the lower half of the body is going down, upper half of the body is going up. Keep the neck nice and neutral. And then shoot up to stand up, come to a standing position, drag the hands to prayer, and drop your arms. Here we go. From the top, arms go straight up towards the sky. And then you sit heavy for chair. Keep your neck very neutral. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare you. You want to step, step, float, skip, get excited through a vinyasa. Push-ups, up dogs, anything goes. Downward facing dog is where we meet. From here, the right foot lands, the back foot turns. We rise. Warrior 1, and we all move a little different, so no one's going to be exact. Yeah, warrior 1, perfect. Hands come down to frame your front foot through a vinyasa of choice, adding or subtracting push-ups. Good. Go to a down dog. The left foot lands, the back foot turns, rise on your breath, warrior one. Hands back down to frame your front foot. This looks great. Through a push up, upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing dog is where we meet. Arms stay straight, look where you want to go. Step or float, top a mat, get there light. Long spine weight is forward. Fold into yourself. Sit heavy in your heels for chair. So you want to feel the weight in your heels, guys. Your arms stay really energetic. Shoot up to stand up using your glutes. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. From the top, arms go up, heavy in your heels for chair. Then you dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets you up, step, step, float through a vinyasa. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. The right foot lands, the back foot turns. Rise on your breath, warrior one. Back down we go through vinyasa. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. The left foot lands, the back foot turns. Rise, stay for a breath. And then go back down to the floor through your vinyasa. Peel the chest through the up dog, press with the hands, the tops of the feet, and then hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep your arms straight, look where you want to go. Step or float, top a mat. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Heavy in your heels, chair, just keep it moving at this point. Feel the weight in your heels, shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. Arms go up, heavy in your heels, chair. See if you can sit a little deeper. Dive over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine sets it up. Step, step, float, keep it moving. From your down dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, rise on your breath, warrior one. Back down we go, chaturanga. The left foot lands on your breath, rise, warrior one. Back down we go, through vinyasa. Upward facing, pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, rise in your breath, warrior one. Good. So let's bring the arms forward like this, like you're handing a tray, arms straight out. Wrap your left arm underneath your right. Yeah, rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up. So on the inhale breath, straighten your right leg on track about 3/4 of the way. Feel the outer blade of your left foot press, left rib spin forward, and then sit a little heavier in your front thigh, keeping your torso nice and elevated. Feel your legs with a strong structure, and then come forward for humble warrior. So taking your right shoulder to the inside of that right leg, or resting your stomach on the front of your right thigh, either are good options. And then breathe. Steer your left ribs forward, rip your right hip under, and feel like you're moving your elbows, your forearms further towards the front skinny edge of the mat. Good. Focus on that back leg just as much as your right hip. Stay here. Anchor strong through your legs. Start to slowly lift your torso up. As the torso lifts, unravel your arms and feel the fresh blood flow to your fingertips for first warrior. Hands to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa or simply choose to just go to a down dog. When you arrive in dog, step your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, rise on your breath, warrior one on the left side. Yes. Slide your arms forward. Yeah, like you're handing a tray. Wrap the right arm underneath the left. So just do your best with this. If it doesn't feel great, you can always bear hug yourself. Rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up. Then straighten the left leg about 3/4 of the way. Steer the right side of your body forward, press heavy through that right foot, and then rebend into that front thigh. Good. Start to pivot forward. Yes, for your humble warrior. So you can either kind of get snuggly with yourself, your shoulder come to the instep of that left leg, or you can rest your stomach on your thigh. Either way works great. You want to feel the entire right side of your body moving forward and let your head get real heavy. Breathe into it. Feel your left hip grip, feel your outer right foot and quadricep, the entire leg really activate. Keep the lower half of the body strong and structured. Start to lift the torso up. Come up nice and slow. You got it. Unravel your arms towards the sky. Feel that. Oh, yeah. Hands to the ground. Chaturanga. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. So this is not a fancy class. We're just going to move through basic poses. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Let's cartwheel open, warrior two. Yes. Arrange your feet so your right foot and your left arch intersect. Your right thigh is heavy and your right knee tracks over your right ankle. Arms activate in opposite directions and you're able to spread open. Close your eyes and breathe. Lengthen the tailbone and get a little heavier as you maintain just a strong warrior two. Wrap your inner right thigh open. You got it. Soften your shoulders, soften your expression, soften your jaw. Feel your legs. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. When you reverse your warrior, it's a very small movement. You don't want to dump into your low back. It's about finding extension. So you're going to come back to warrior two, reach out, and your arm to the top of the thigh or your hand to the outside of the foot. You're welcome to use a block, place it any direction that works for you this morning. Left arm can spread up and the top arm can wrap up and forward. If you're opting for arm on the top of the thigh, just make sure your shoulder's soft away from your ear. Grip the bottom hip under. Nice, Jill. Yeah, stay with it. Crown of the head moves forward. It looks good, Jody. Nice job. So if the arm is wrapping up and forward, really extend it. It's like a bow and arrow. Let the top arm pull you up, warrior two. So as you pull up into warrior two, get a little heavier in your legs. Breathe here. Circle it to the floor, vinyasa. So at this point, you can take out the vinyasas if you're not feeling it. You can add in too if you feel like you need extra push-ups. From your downward facing dog, step your left foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Cartwheel open, warrior two, left side. So before you move on, always look down at your feet and make sure you haven't gone crazy in your stance. Yes, your left foot and your right arch, somewhat on the same track. Arms spread nice and wide. Drop down nice and deep. Wrap that inner thigh open and then breathe. And it's like these moments that you don't want to hold, but we benefit from this big time. So sit a little deeper. Kind of have to chill out in the posture. Wrap that inner thigh open, get a little heavier. Stay with it. Flip the palm reverse, let the side body get a nice opening, nice extension. When you come back through warrior two, reach out really far. Either rest your arm on the top of the thigh or hand can go immediately to the outside of the foot. I like a block. Top arm can reach straight up, can come up and forward. If you have anything going on in your shoulders, you can always have your hand on your hip. Your back right foot, I'll just remind you, is on a little bit of an angle, so your hip can go into proper rotation. And then breathe. How can you soften in the pose? As your shoulders soften away from your ear, check in on that. Grip the bottom hip, turn the bottom ribs, and just be present in the pose. Stay with it. Crown of the head moves forward. Top arm straight up. Let that pull you up. Warrior two. Warrior two. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, walk your hands halfway up and walk your feet halfway up and your hands halfway up. So you just meet in the middle of the mat is what I'm trying to say. So you're just coming to the center of the mat. Then your hands come to your hips, you come halfway up and you come the rest of the way up. So just in the center of the mat. You can stay facing this direction. You can turn towards the camera, whatever you want to do. Have your blocks nearby, okay? Stand on your left leg and you're going to drag your right leg up into a tree. Yes. Hands come to prayer. Grip the bottom hip in. And then grow your branches however you feel. This feels good today. Yeah. Let your eyes just kind of fix up. And anytime we balance, we anticipate a little floppiness, a little unsteadiness. That's okay. Keep your arms moving up, guys. Let your right foot just kind of float away from the instep of that left thigh. So it's just going to look like this. So the structure, the shape hasn't moved at all. You're just kind of letting your leg lift in space. Good. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh and start to sit down into a big, juicy chair. And kind of like we did before, strong flex, swinging of your hips back. You're going to slowly, slowly, slowly start to hinge out. Take your time doing it. Maybe the hands come down to the floor. Good. So we're coming into an ankle to knee here. Flex the foot strong around the outside of that left tricep. Steer the hips back. You got it. What we don't want is to kind of round into ourselves. So that's why the blocks are actually quite good, especially if you put them on a high setting, because I want to keep my chest and my heart as open as possible here. Good. If you're dying to experiment with something, you're welcome to do that in this pose, balancing pose, forearm balance, or you can just hang out here and really enjoy the hip opener. Right. Stay heavy in that standing right leg. Keep the neck nice and neutral and just breathe. Yep. So to get out of this pose, we'll do it together without letting the foot touch. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up nice and slow. Swing your right leg forward so that it's at a 90-degree angle. Bring your arms straight up towards the sky. And then keeping your arms up, lower your right foot down and sit heavy in your heels for chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Hook the elbow. Let's twist to the right. So if you're not hooking today and you're just kind of air twisting, that's totally fine. Yeah. Stay with it. Spine nice and long. Keep breathing. Open up your arms if you want a little more. Just stay. Looks great. Really nice alignment. So heavy in your heels, pull around to chair. When you come through center, see if you can sit your seat down like 2 inches deeper. Weight really in your heels. Now focus on the weight being in your heels. I want you to feel this through your glutes. Shoot up to stand up. Yep. Drag your hands to prayer and drop your arms. Good work. So the other side. So you're going to now stand on your right leg, drag your left leg up into a tree. And for some reason, you did the wrong side. You just do the right side now. Do the side you didn't do. Hands come to prayer. Find breath, find balance. And then grow the branches of your tree how you wish. Hug your outer hips in. Draw the belly in and back. Yeah, and if you kind of flop out, just come back in. Fix your eyes, maybe start to play with where you look, looking up a little bit. So keep everything very elevated. All you're going to do is activate your hip by pulling your foot away from your inner thigh about 2 or 3 inches. So it's kind of a subtle movement. You're not jutting your hip all the way out. Give it a whirl. Nice job, guys. Really good actions. So keep everything lifted, then cross the ankle and start to sit really, really low. So it's chair with ankle to knee. Yeah. As you sit down, start to really slowly bring your torso forward. Slowly come forward, heavy in your right heel, and then bring the hands down to the blocks or kind of caddy your elbows into the back of that front of that shin, and find this ankle to knee pose, leading with your heart and chest. Weight in that standing heel. Yeah. Playing around with some arm balancing if you're up for it, or just being here. Couple more breaths. Steer the hips back, weight in your heel, and get in there. So to get out, you're going to do it slowly without letting your left leg touch. Bring your hands to your hips. As you come up to a standing position, swing your left leg forward to a 90-degree angle. Sweep your arms up. Keep the arms moving up, then lower your left foot down and sit heavy in your heels for chair. Drag your hands to prayer, hooking, let's go towards the left. You can do this with your feet together or separated, does not matter. Weight in those heels. What's important is that your alignment is set. Your feet, your shins, your knees, your hips are all aligned. So it's really not how far you're going, but how you're doing it. Open up your arms if you want more, or just be content. Look sideways, look up. Try not to look back. We have the tendency to round. So as you pull around to chair, do it really, really slow. Yep, come back to your chair and really feel the weight in your heels and feel your glutes as you shoot up to stand up. Do it with power. Nice work. Drag your hands to prayer and drop your arms. And just stand for a second and just feel these basic poses in your body and how it kind of moves your energy. If you turned, just turn to face forward. If you didn't, then that's great. Sweep the arms up and let's forward fold over the legs wherever you are. And then from wherever you are on your mat, because sometimes you have a tendency to move, find down dog. Okay. Once you find your down dog, roll forward to a clean plank, lower halfway to a push up. Drag yourself to an up dog or cobra, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, cartwheel open, warrior two. Yes, so we've done a bunch of hip stuff, so maybe this warrior two actually feels a little better now. Straighten your right leg on track, pick your distance, and pivot into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Some of us like it a little tighter, some of us like this a little longer. So find what works here. Your hand can be resting anywhere on the front of your right shin. A lot of us like using a block as well, but go to the outside of the calf. Feel like you're leaning back ever so slightly, but staying really elevated through that side body and ribs. If you've got your hand somewhere on your shin, feel like you're pulling your pant leggings up or your skin moving it up your leg. Look sideways, look up. So keeping your right foot and your right hip really forward and active. Look down and float right into your Ardha. Use your block and pop right up. Your hand can be on your hip. The biggest challenge is keeping your right foot forward. Grip that right hip in and then stack it open. Yes. Find the basic pose. And then if you feel like you want to add the bind in, you're welcome to do so. It is optional. If your neck is sensitive, just pick a drishti that you know you can maintain. Spread your collarbone in your chest, hug your right hip in. Feel your left leg in space. You can flex your left toes a little more. Couple more breaths. Nice job, everyone. If you added the bind, just release into regular Ardha. The transition is its own deal. So look down and step back to triangle. Move the block with you if you used it. Nice and slow. Good job. If it didn't work out, it's okay. No one's grading you. Look to the floor. Circle the hands down. Lean on your left hand and roll into a Vashisthasana on that left side. Stack the feet, stagger the feet. Drop the bottom knee. I'm demonstrating that here. You got to find something you know that your body feels good in and that you can breathe for a few really good breaths, right? So better rather to be in something more supportive than be in something more advanced and be in it crummy. That looks great. From your bottom hip to your top hip, you lift. And then if you want a little bit more, your top arm can wrap up and forward. That looks great, Jill. Really strong through that side body. Eyes go to the floor, hand comes down, plank, do it slow. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog or cobra, you pick. Hips up and back, down dog. So just keeping your mind moving and your body moving. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Rise on your breath, warrior one. Warrior two, sorry. You knew what I meant. All of you did the right thing. I just said the wrong thing. Warrior two. Warrior two. There you go. Straighten the left leg on track. Pick your distance. Sometimes you have to bring that back foot in a little and pivot Ardha Chandrasana. So I'm saying all the wrong poses. I'm being completely backwards today. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. I'm one step ahead of myself. Hand on your shin. Stack yourself up and just breathe. Set it up here. So feel the softness of your shoulder blades kind of moving apart. Yeah, feel the strength of your back right leg. And I always remind myself in triangle to soften behind that left knee. That really helps the pose a lot. Yeah. And it helps you find some stability in the muscles. Keep breathing. So in the triangle, focus on your left foot, your left hip, look down and see if you can float up in one piece. Your right hand may need to come to your hip and pop up into now we go Ardha Chandrasana and step it up. Yes. Lift from that inner thigh, spread the collarbone in the chest, look sideways, look up. Yeah. And really focus on that left foot, that left hip, keeping it forward, hugging in. If you want to add in the bind, you're welcome to. If not, just stay. Finding that breath, finding that balance, and finding that focus. If you added the bind, just come out real slow and meet us in the Ardha. So you almost have to visualize the transition. The step back is super slow. Arrive back triangle. Yeah, the slower you do it, generally the more accurate we are. Pull up anywhere in the front of that left shin and reset your triangle pose. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Another big breath in, open it up. Eyes go to the floor, hands come down. So set up plank and then lean on your right hand. I find it's best to bring your right hand like an inch forward and then roll Vashisthasana side plank. So find your favorite version of side plank. Yeah. Stagger your feet. Modify. So from your bottom hip to your top hip, there's a strong lift. And you just want to make sure you're not opening that top hip. It's really stacked up. Yeah, top arm can wrap up and forward if you want more. Eyes go to the floor, do it slow, plank position. Lower halfway push-up, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Good work, hips up and back, down dog. So let your mind stay present to the practice. Stay here. Right foot lands, crescent lunge. Come up nice and slow. You were here earlier. Should feel a little better. a little bit more stable. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Inhale your breath. You can lean out a little bit, hook, and then twist. So there's a couple options to know in this pose. You don't have to hook. You can just stay kind of in a space in air. You can also take this more of an easy twist with your hand to the instep of the foot if you're not feeling great in your low back. Spine is very long and straight. Grip the right hip under. You can always modify the pose too with the bottom knee down like I'm demonstrating here. Great. So the trick is to hook your right hip under, activate your left leg, and then lean back a little bit. So the goal is to get the crown of the head to line up with that back heel. Go the other way, Andy. There you go. Yes, there, perfect. Couple more breaths. Are you breathing? Point the elbow towards the sky and twist open. Hands to frame your front foot. Do this slow, okay? So we practiced this earlier. I want you to spring your feet to the top of the mat. Let's go hips width distance. Long spine on your exhale. Exhale, fold. You're gonna root to rise, come all the way up, standing out. So your arms are go straight up, and you're gonna stand on your right leg and draw your left knee in towards your navel. Just give it a squeeze. Stand up really tall. You're gonna reach your right hand to the outside of your left thigh and peel your left arm open and back. So you're standing on your right leg, your left leg is bent in half, and you're taking this modified. If you can add in leg straight forward, grab the outer blade of your left foot with your right hand for dancing Shiva. The standing right leg must stay straight. The left leg that is moving forward can be bent at any amount. Stand up really tall. Breathe your chest and your collarbone open and start to look sideways. And in this case, you can start to look back into that hand. Stand up a little taller, twist a little deeper. Pull around to center, arms up, leg up in space. If your leg needs to bend, that's fine. If you can keep it straight out in front of you, that's awesome. With your arms moving up, you're gonna take about a 3-foot step back into like a short warrior one, left leg back. So you're setting right up for twisting triangle. Make sure your right foot is over to the right enough that your feet are hips width distance. Right hand on hip, left arm is already up. Come halfway down, steer your right hip back, come the rest of the way down. You're set up here, twisting triangle. I like a block to the instep of the foot. Yes, right hand on the flat part of your back, and then stack it open. Feel like someone's got you by your hips and they're pulling them towards the back skinny edge of the mat. Breathe your chest open, look sideways, look up. Twist a little deeper. Anchor the feet, exhale the breath, right hand down. Plant your palms, step to a dog. Yep. Step your left foot forward, crescent lunge, rise. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath, lean out first, then hook and twist. Activate your back leg. Yeah, any modification that you feel your body is fit for. You want to be high on the ball of your back foot. You got it. Reg, I can't see your left foot, but maybe walk it a little bit towards the TV, a little bit over to the left, and you might get a little bit more balance. I saw you like reaching for something. There you go. Yeah, it's all good. Stay with me, guys. Last little. Twist open. Beautiful job. Hands to frame your front foot. Pause. Spring to the top of the mat with your right foot. Long spine on the inhale. fold into yourself. So you're gonna root to rise, and as you come up, the arms energize, and you just draw your right knee in and give it a squeeze. So you're standing on your left leg. Go right into the twist. The hand can slide to the outside of the thigh, the right arm can wrap back, or you can reach down and grab the outer part of that right foot and kick forward. Stand up really tall here. Good. So in this case, in this pose, it's okay to look into that back hand. You just got to keep the spine very long and elevated. Stand up really tall and twist open. One more big breath in. Pull around to center, arms up, leg up. See if you can keep the leg straight out in front of you. It's going to work the core more. Really energize those arms. Don't let them drop. Swing your right leg back about 3 feet. So it's like a short warrior one. Yes. Left hand on hip, right arm elevates. Come halfway down, steer your hips back. Come the rest of the way down. Utilize your block. Hand on the flat part of your back for twisting triangles, a great way to take it. Yep. You want to keep that side body very long and elevated. Make sure you're not dumping into that bottom shoulder, and then stack it open. If the left arm can peel open, that's great. If it needs to be on the flat part of your back, fine. Good option. Anchor through your legs, squeeze the outer hips under and in. Twist. Couple more. I find this is the pose you got to hold for a bunch of breaths. You really get a nice opening. Quiet the mind and just breathe. Hands to frame your front foot. Move the block forward. Plant the palms. Step to a dog. When you get to down dog, drop to your forearms for dolphin. Yeah. And walk your feet up so they're tight and close. Yeah. Wrap the sides of your triceps in. You can have your hands interlaced. And then breathe your right leg up and back. And if you're not into lifting the leg, just stay in dolphin and you don't have to lift the leg. If you can get up, that's great. If not, just stay here. Just breathe that right leg up from that inner thigh. And then lower the right leg. And then try the other side. Lift the left leg. And then lower the left leg. And then stay 5 more breaths wherever you are. Yeah, there's a hugging of your sides of your triceps. Your head is not touching the ground. Really awesome. So to get out of the pose this morning, if you're upside down, come out slow. Walk out to a forearm plank. Just walk out. Just stay with me. Walk out to a forearm plank. Yep. Stay deliberate here. So you're stacked in one straight line of energy, and then one palm at a time, press up to a plank position. Do it nice and slow. Use some extra core. In this plank, add in a push-up if you've got any energy left. Then take yourself through a vinyasa, upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. So why I have you in this position, guide your right knee forward for a half pigeon. We won't be here super long today. We've done a bunch of hip opening. Yep, and other ways. So if there's a more special way that you like to take half pigeon on your back, you're welcome to do it that way. About 30, 40 seconds. So just get right to it. Right knee forward, half pigeon, and fold. Good, down dog. Stay present to just the movement that you're doing. Left knee slides forward, half pigeon. Drop right back down. Couple more breaths. Good. Come up nice and slow. Press to a dog. Yeah. And in this down dog, come forward to a tabletop. So I'm going to take you through a little different back bending here just to finish. So if you are dying to go into full wheel, turn around onto your backs and do that. If you want to try something else, I'm just going to keep you on your hands and knees and we're going to open up the front side this way. Extend your right leg back into space, reach your left arm forward. Yeah. So if you're into full wheel, you don't need me, just go for it. If you're into, trying out back bending a little different, staying a little more upright, give it a whirl. Left arm peels back, bend that right knee crease, and then reach back and grab your foot. So fire up your right thigh and steer your chest forward. Yeah. Breathe. So now if you focus on flexing your right foot, power up that thigh bone, kick a little more. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Keep the lift of the right leg, bring the left hand down, hug your right knee in, and step your right foot forward. Now, in this version, I want your left knee straight up and down. You're going to pull yourself up. So it looks like this. If this does not feel good for you, you need to pad underneath your knee. Grab a pillow or a blanket and pad. Good. If you're going up, just make sure your feet aren't too wide, guys. Drop your arms down, interlace your hands behind your back. Breathe your collarbone and your chest open. Grip your hips in. Take another big breath in. Open up the front line of the body this way. It's kind of like a half camel. Pull the torso up, wrap the arms up towards the sky, hands to frame your front foot, tabletop position. If you went up into a different back bend, exhale the breath and lower down and try the other side. Try it again. Extend the left leg back, reach the right arm forward. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And then reach back, grab the ankle, kick up and back. So do this first. If you've practiced flexing your foot, you may get a little bit more. Plug the left palm and breathe. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Keep it elevated and lifted. Use your core. Keep the left leg in space, right hand down. Hug your left knee in. Keep it active. Step the left foot forward. Rise on your breath into the supported lunge. Looking for a little bit more straight up and down with your right leg. Drop your arms down. Clasp the hands the opposite direction. Inhale, lift. Exhale, guide your heart and your chest open. Neck stays neutral. You can look up a little with your eyes. Your neck can drop back softly. There's a hugging of the shoulder blades, a wrapping of your left thigh. Come up nice and slow. Sweep your arms up towards the sky. Hands to frame your front foot. Tabletop position. Hips up and back dog. Hop your feet through. Lay down on your backs. If you're already on your backs, you're in the right spot. When you hit the floor, yeah, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a big squeeze for me. Reach for the outer blades of your feet and find happy baby. If you have your big toes and you want to straighten out your legs into a wide straddle on your back, that is an awesome option. Bring the knees to center. Wrap the left thigh over the right thigh. Lift the hips up enough to the left that you can drop your knees over to the right for a little supine twist with bound legs. Yeah. Good. Roll up to center. Neutralize the spine. Wrap the right thigh around the left. Shimmy the hips a little right. Drop the knees to the left. Whatever side you went to. And twist open. When you twist like this, you just want to make sure your two shoulders stay down. Yeah, so if you're rolling to all the way to one side, you want to even it out. Use your core strength, pull up to center. Hug the knees in, give yourself a really nice squeeze. And then on the next exhale breath, relax into Shavasana. Utilize your blocks, your towels, anything to make you comfortable for the next couple minutes. Yeah, and I know it's challenging, but take advantage. Take a big, generous breath in and a full, complete exhale breath out through your mouth. Bring your arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a really big stretch from fingertips to toes. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Move with slow, precise movement. And rock up whichever way feels good to you. Some of us like to roll. Right. Sit up nice and tall. Keep your eyes shut just for a moment. I always feel so successful that you get to the end of the poses, you get to the end of the practice, you come to this seat. Be grateful that you're able to move yourselves, your bodies, your minds, your breath in this flow today. Bow your head, always have gratitude. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste to you all. Happy birthday for those that are celebrating. I will be here on Zoom on Friday.